GM, and welcome to AI June Part 4, or better known as AI July. We had some delays for basically holidays in the Muslim world that we didn't account for in AI June originally. Can't be throwing AI June things during Eid. That's just crazy. So we delayed this, and because of East Barcelona, anyway. We're in July for AI June, and I'm really excited to present the last couple of projects that are presenting. This will be Mateo and Carlos, and as well as Moshe Hab, and they have some really cool projects to present. So let's just get this party started. Mateo and Carlos, are you guys down to start the party?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well, then
let's do it.
let's do it. I'll put 5 minutes on the clock, and you guys can start when you're ready. Make sure to share screen and all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm on it. Give me a second.
Okay, well, thank you for giving us this time. This is a project that Mateo and me worked on. This is kind of like also a continuation of a previous project that we presented uh, before in a way, because we wanted to make like a recommendation engine of sorts, but well, we used another model before and it wasn't that cool. So well, this is a much better project, and we'll go mostly into a demo into how it works, what it's capable of, and some future improvements that we will do. So Mateo, let's see here. Yeah.
Yeah, we can take it from here. We can see in the screen that we have like a chat, and besides terminal, that is just because I want to show you guys how everything is going under the backend. So basically, we connected LangChain and OpenAI to a copy of our database in Giveth, and we can ask it anything related to projects, to any table that we have. So let's start with one that is super quick and easy. For example, how many projects there are. You can see in the right side that it basically gives out a SQL query and gives the answer. So there are, in the copy that I have currently on my local, there are 2475 projects. We can go a little bit more complicated and say, okay, how many donations has the user Grief made so far and how much USD? And it's thinking, and eventually it will say that Grief has made 122 donations, totaling an amount of 136 USD by the time that I made the copy of the database, which was around 2 months or 3 months ago. It was Kai who provided that to me. So I just want to keep showing the complexity, or maybe get things a little bit more intense and how smart it can be. So another question that we had made was, suggest me a project related to natural disasters. I want to help. It's related with what Carlos was mentioning. It was the first intention of our previous project, and it's a suggestion system. So it also can do that just by reading the database. Here you can see in the right side that it gives many projects, different projects, and then the ChatGPT model will make that answer a little bit more human. It's a little bit more slow because it's more information that it has to handle. Some things that we want to improve is just better formatting. We also want to show all the thinking process in the chat. I haven't been able to make that possible yet, but you can see that here are some requests related to natural disasters, and then it says acute search and rescue. In the second place, medicine sans. In the third place, all hands and heart smart response, and so on. By default, it just gives 5 that we can ask for more. So another one more complicated. This question could be, what are the top 10 projects that have raised more than 2K? Provide the titles in order ascendant. I have three more questions because it's just the ones that we thought could bring more impact to the app, to the community. So we showed other people about it. For example, Ashley would be amazed about it because she's constantly asking the backend to stuff like this. So let's see another one more complicated, the last one, because I just have one more minute. What's the average value USD of donation of the last 6 months per month? Just like a random analytic, like that. And I have another one that is just how many times on average does a user make a donation for the last 6 months? So you can see like it can be really detailed, it can be also very, very broad, but you can essentially start talking with the Giveth database. And yeah, that's super amazing. And I think it has the capability of bringing a lot of impact to the Giveth DAO.
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing. But I'm trying to read the text. I don't know if you could make the window smaller or something. Oh, I guess this is a whole big screen. Or make that window taller. Yeah, I know.
Like this?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, scroll down, and I'm really curious about the average donations. Oh, there it is. Oh no, keep going. I want to see the average donation.
The average donation. For some reason, it didn't provide that one. Let me rephrase it.
Let's see. Oh, cool. Okay, and then
Let's do it again.
Average value of USD donations for 6 months per month. That's so cool. There's such interesting stats. It's like, okay, so we got a couple larger donations in March.
Oh, here
it's
you
like
go.
it's really interesting.
Okay, there we go.
It says like it's 4.3 donations in the last 6 months is the average per user.
Wow, that's so interesting. That we have a lot of repeat donors. Really, like we have like a core group that donate. I mean, this is amazing. This is amazing for our own internal like marketing research. Like Surby needs access to this stat. You guys can let's bring everyone in and see if there's any other questions. But my first question is, what would it take to make this accessible on our live data for internal use?
Yeah, basically, Sam was an advisor for this project, and the main concern is how we would handle the roles in the database because we are basically, as you can see in the right side, giving complete access to the AI for making queries to our database. So we have to make sure that it's very secure and assign a particular role that is just able to read, essentially. I'm playing around with fake real data that is on my local, but we just have to set up like a cool DevOps instance in there just to keep just read access and not display sensitive information about users because that's also a concern. We can also, who is Grief or what's the wallet, or we can be doxing people just like that. So we just have to make sure that it replies information that we want it to reply. That's the two security that we have to make sure.
Yeah, like control user input because there can be some sensitive queries and things that we don't want the user to know, or have, or maybe edit the database. So there's tons of controls we have to add first.
But some of those controls wouldn't be needed for internal use, right? Like if
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. We actually have like analytics dashboard with that we made in Giveth, and this could be like part of that dashboard because tons of questions are asked by the comms team to the backend, and many things can be done by this AI.
that's really interesting. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have. I'm on mute. Do you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. It was great. It's great. I'm pretty sure that Ashley and other guys will be more creative and will be super creative and creating queries that fetch valuable information from our data set. We have a read-only node database, and I think we can define some database access to just access to a few tables like project donation. But to make it short, I'm curious to read again the query you sent. Your second query, the one was a matching to the project description. You asked about something, in the context. You asked a project that uh, are in
it was
some
about the
context.
suggestions or which
I
one?
want to know whether it's matched word by word or it does semantic searching.
The
Your
one
second or
about
third query.
this one, suggest me a prayer related to natural disasters. That one.
Exactly. Yeah. Can I?
You're not sharing
Or,
screen, just so you know.
Ah,
Yeah, there we go.
there it is. You
I
can
think
see
we.
selected by title, and then where description is like natural disasters, it's limited to
oh,
5, and that's it. But this is the query.
does it? I think it's matched words, right?
Yeah,
Or
in this case, much worse. It uses the I like operator.
yeah, cool.
Very
I
cool.
don't have any other question.
Any other questions? Let's give Mateo and Carlos a round of applause. This is beautiful. That's amazing. Unmute, applaud.
Well done, guys.
There it is.
Well done, guys.
That is an incredible project, and it seems like something that we could actually consider integrating first for internal use, and maybe we can even get this on the DApp sometime. It looks really getting close to polished, so that's super cool. Well, Mo Shahab, you're up next. So you have a tough act to follow. So we could get everyone off the screen, and when you start Mo Shahab, like figure out how to share screen and all that. And I'll start the timer.
Yes. So, hello, guys. Excited to be here. I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen now. Okay, it's working. Um, can you guys hear me and see my screen? So, I'm excited to share something that I built yesterday. It's it's a it's a Discord bot that I was trying to tackle a problem that I usually find within our team and for so many teams all around, and it's only like 70% functional. Like there's only so much you can do in one day. Uh, uh, but for starters, I created a Discord bot that will act as a helper Discord bot for GitHub repositories between teams. So I found a problem that there is a lot of back and forth communication between team members in different Discord channels about which issues they are working on, and this can result in so much wasted time in figuring out what are the issue links and like the pull request links and which issue is described in what specific number of what is related to what issue basically, and what I did was a small bot that can have access to Discord. Uh, I called it Bridge AI at first, but I changed the name later to Git AI. So basically, what the bot does is uh, I uh, I integrate it with an OpenAI API key, and I create a bot on Discord, like on the Discord server, and invite this bot to my server, and then I will give it a repository uh, in which it will read the information from. So all the pull requests, all the issues that are open in this repository are all configured in this bot. And like once I start the bot, it will start downloading the data and basically start like syncing the data of the GitHub repo. For example, in this example, I'm pulling the data of the praise repository, and it's pulled the keyword ask,
Hey,
like
hey,
ask
Moshab,
any random question.
you lost your connection a little bit there, maybe like 30 seconds back. Can you say what you were saying again? And you have
Yeah,
2 minutes left.
yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. So basically, the bot will act as a member in the Discord channel that we are talking on, and I can ask it any questions provided it is related to the GitHub repository that I configured. So, for example, how many pull requests do I have open in Brace? It's not 100% functional, but let's see how it goes. Hopefully soon. There are two, based on your provided context, there are two open pull requests and praise repository. In addition to that, we can feed the bot our own data. So, for example, I pulled some data from the DevOps channel, which describes why we stopped the Kubernetes migration. And I can ask the bot, why did we do that? Why did we stop and it will answer based on the text files that I provide to it, as well as some general knowledge that it has from the LLM model. So if I ask it again, is this normal between teams that it will basically continue with the same context throughout the conversation. Yes, it is not uncommon for teams related to Kubernetes temporary pause. The development decommission stage, incremental resources, and it is interactive, but it's not fully functional just yet. And basically, yeah, like I wanted to create something that can empower the team in the communication and act as something natural we can talk to instead of visiting so many links and sending links back and forth.
This
So
is
yeah,
this is so
that's more.
interesting, Moshab. So, like, how does it work exactly? Like, when you ask a question, is it like searching the GitHub for things like in the issues thing, and then like when it finds the issue, it kind of trains itself on that, or it like puts that as an input, and then it
Yeah,
gives a response? Is that effectively how it works?
yeah, yeah. So basically, like defining how it is being trained can be done in so many different ways. Some are
Yeah.
basic and some are very advanced. But like as of now, like as of like the state of this project right now, it's basically getting all the data from like any normal user visiting the GitHub repository. It authenticates with the user token, and it will get the information, like the basic information of the pull requests, the issues, the comments, in a text format. And this is what the bot is basically reading from and trying to answer the questions from. Um, yeah.
But when you ask something specific about like, hey, Kubernetes, like you didn't reference a specific issue. So did it just like search issues
Yeah.
or something? That's really interesting. It's really cool.
Yeah. So this is yeah. Yeah, so this is an F, like for a future plan, like you can ask it very specific things, like what issues are related to Kubernetes and how did they end and what was the resolution, for example, and who was assigned for it. It can be done in this way, but basically right now it's still in a very basic format. And like in addition to repositories, we can feed it like Discord channel data. So how, like for example, how did the conversation about I don't know, asking for grants for this specific project ended, for example, and it will read from this data and come up with a reply. And
That's super
it's
cool.
not
Wait,
just
before you go too deep, I want to make sure. Does anyone else have any questions?
Not right now, but I just wanted to comment. I've seen some guys at Mobile World Congress that were doing some kind of application like to help us organizing in Slack and giving some metrics. I can share you with you the link if you want, because I think that you can grab some interesting ideas on what they are doing to apply the AI that they are developing. So I will send it here in
please,
the chat.
thanks.
And congratulations, super cool project.
Yeah, super cool project. Any other
Thanks.
questions?
Thanks, Ray.
Polpo. Cool.
And
Okay, cool.
like by
Oh,
the
yeah, go
way,
ahead.
I made the repo public, so I can share the links. That's why. Yeah,
Definitely
I made
share
the
the links.
repository public, so anyone can just check it and try it on their own.
Definitely share the links in our AI Telegram chat. That scores you points with the judge. That goes for you, Mateo and Carlos as well. And yeah, and let's leave it at this. It was. Oh yeah, Sam, go ahead.
If we still have time, I could also do some presentation that is not qualifying for the hackathon because I have been mentoring it. But I think that I have something interesting that it's interesting to show. Okay, I will present them. Sure. So basically, I kind of, with LangChain, I also have been picking projects info from a CSV. The CSV I could create the CSV from the Giveth API, GraphQL API. So if you have a CSV with different columns and stuff, you can load it directly to LangChain. And then what I did was to pick the descriptions of the projects and embed them into a vector space. The vector space that I used, it's an open source one, which is called All MiniLM L6 V2. It has 400 dimensions. So in order to visualize it, it's impossible for us humans to understand 400 dimensions. So the visualization is reduced to 3D. And we can actually see it here. So these are something went pretty wrong. Because it should have been like 3D. Probably it's...
The pink ones are a little 3D.
No, it should not be like this at all. I should remove the Chroma database and try it again. But basically, it's like a visualization of all the projects, and the ones that are more close to each other have similar topics. And then you can see like the outliners, like, okay, this project is not similar at all to any other. I think that I can try to do that if you give me a sec. I just have to remove them. I am using this Chroma database, which is made for specifically vector storage, vector space storage. And I think that I just need to remove these index and Chroma collections here.
Good old demo, guys.
Yeah.
In our favor.
Yeah, basically, the problem is that if you load twice, it does that. You have to have a pristine projects store. So it will work now. And yeah, the thing is that you can store the vectors and then you can reuse them without having to calculate them again, which is very nice. And something else that I also wanted to show is that if you have the description of one project, it can tell you which are the similar projects. So this is something that at Giveth AI, which is a group of Lauren, Mateo, and me, we have been thinking on how to improve the Giveth project recommendation system. Now it looks better.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
So this is the space, the embed space. So for instance, you can check it out, like crowd-funded cures title, blah, blah. Crowd-funded cures, which is similar to Happy DAO mental health care. It's about health, this part here. Or the part here, these calcet hermits of something. Which,
that's like almost a joke project.
yeah, it's an onliner actually.
Yeah. This is about nuns.
Let's see, these two looks very similar. Chapman partnership with Fresno Rescue Mission. It's really interesting. It's like, this is the Giveth Galaxy, I will say. It's 400 dimensions reduced to 3.
30 seconds.
And that's it. Well, actually, I will do watch which are the similar projects to the Giveth house. So it will make the embedding of the Giveth house description and look for similar ones. And it says that building the future of giving. So basically, it's the Giveth Gardens, something like Forum Popular de Cultura, and yeah, that's it. So this will be the projects that will appear as similar ones to the Giveth house in the Giveth house project in Giveth.
Wow, that's amazing. I think you can bring everyone in. Does anyone have any questions for Sam? I mean, this is pretty insane. I gotta say, like, it's such a beautiful graph, and I feel like it would be really useful for. I mean, did you have a use case in mind? I know it would be really useful for at the bottom of the projects. We always have 3 suggested projects to look at.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not very like accurate as far as like looking at. Is that what your intended use case was? Or?
Yes, exactly. This is the only use case that I think that is interesting. Also, maybe for recommending projects based on your preferences or things like that. But the clear use case is to replace the Giveth project. To replace the algorithm that gives you the the similar projects here.
Does anyone else have any questions for Sam? I guess my main question is how would you imagine us using it? Would it be something that we'd run once and then store locally? Maybe run like once per project for every. Is there like a more efficient way to do the queries than like once per project for every project once a month or something like that? Or like, yeah, what's the best efficient way to get this data without racking up the ChatGPT 4 costs every time someone loads a page?
Yeah, no, actually, it's way easier than that. The algorithm that I am using, all are open source and all are running in my computer. It's like you can have your computer running them. You don't have to use the GPT-4 or GPT APIs at all. If you were using them, you probably will get better results. But with this one, it has 400 dimensions instead of the GPT, the OpenAI embedding model, which has 1,536 dimensional space. It's a lot. It's too much probably for this specific context. And the idea will be that every time that there is an update on a project, an embedding is made for this text, and it's stored. It could be stored in the Postgres database, or it could be stored in a ChromaDB database. That's something that I am still deciding which is the best thing to do. And once it's stored, it can be checked with the rest of the projects. You can even run which are the similar projects to this one. It's pretty easy. It should be done very easily. I just have to put myself on it.
That's super cool. Any last questions for Sam on this project? Cool. Well then, congratulations. We finally completed AI June. And let's give Sam, and actually, I don't think we gave an applause for Moshe Hab either. So let's give a round of applause for both Sam and Moshe Hab and Sam. Epic projects, very interesting, and just it's just amazing what we can do with these tools. So thank you all for coming in, especially Moshe, Mateo, and Carlos, and really like taking the time to experiment and learn how to use this tooling. I think it's really important for the Giveth Galaxy as a whole to just stay up to date with the latest action. So thank you guys for taking the time to do that. And thank you all, also Mohammed, Amin, Jordy, and everyone in the back there. I think Danilo is in there and a few others. Thank you all for coming and supporting the teams in presenting. And I guess we'll see you maybe, what do you think, AI October? We'll see. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.